Come back. So let's continue from where we stopped. We stopped at grid. I was trying to explain the grid system. I remember I was showing you how we could put it into 4 different places. I said it's 12 in a column. That is 12 column in a row. So we talked about the rows and we talked about the container. So let's talk about the grid in full now. So the grid is beyond just what we just discussed now. We still have a bigger part to the grid. So how will I explain this? Let me just go to a particular, let me see, let me come in here. And let's go to layout. Let's go to grid here. So let's get to understand how the grid works here. Okay, so remember in our previous days, in our previous what's it called? In our previous video, we made use of just the column. But now we have some extra thing that we make use of. We have the extra small column, we have the small, we have the medium, we have the large, we have the extra large. Now, just read what's written. It's a Bootstrap grid system can adapt across all 6 default breakpoints and any breakpoint you customize. The 6 default grid tiers are as follows. Now, what do we mean by different breakpoints? That means, you know, when we started learning Bootstrap, it was said that it is mobile first. So we have different kind of devices. That means Bootstrap can adapt over several devices. Now we have the extra small devices like the iPod, iPad, mini phones like that. We have the small devices. We have the medium devices. We have the large devices. We have the extra large. We have the extra large. So let's look at this table over here. This table here. Now we have the XS. It says that's the maximum width. That's more or less like the size of a container. So that's the maximum width it can take. That's what we have here. So if the screen is less than 576, so we use the XS. Now SM is saying it is greater than or equals to 576. That is from 576 and above. Now MD is saying that is greater than 576 and it's greater than or equals to 768. What do I mean by that? Let me explain better. I think I made a mistake somewhere. Okay, it means it's greater than or equals to 7, that is from 768 and above screen. That's in terms of length, in terms of width. Now for LG, that's large. XS is extra small, SM is small, MD is mid, LG is large, XL is extra large. So that means greater or equals to 1200 pixels, while XXL is greater or equals to 1400 pixels. You don't have to worry yourself too much. I'm going to explain with good examples that you'll be able to understand exactly how they work. So let's get started. Let's go to our browser here. Now, let's look at this. What I'm going to do is, let me bring in some images. I think that will be the best way to explain. I want to copy some of the images we used in our last project. Let me just drag it to images. Now, if here, in this place in our for here, we have an image. Let's say we have an image. We'll say, okay, img src is equals to, let's just use the image. Let's say images slash, let's use man, that's JPEG here. That's all. That's all I just want to. Let's leave the alt alone. Let me bring it here. Bring it here too. So for here, let me use del.jpg, right? And here let me use 1738. So if I save this, if I should go back to my browser and refresh, now you can see we have the images big and they don't even fit at all. But if I come in here, let me just take the width. So equals to 100% all through. So let me just copy the width across board. So this is 100% of 4. This is not, we are using 4, so 4, 4, 4. So that's 12. So this is the width. So you can see that they are all 100% filling the width, and they have space in between them. So if I choose to use something different, let's say I choose to use container fluid instead of container. Let's see what happens to them in terms of fitting in. You can see they all fit in. They still take same space. That's 4, 4, 4. Okay, now this is where I'm going. Now let's look at this. Now let's assume I want to break into a mobile app. You see, the more the screen goes smaller, they just keep fitting 4, 4, 4. That means if we have a screen smaller than this, a mobile phone or a mobile app or something, a mobile phone, sorry, we'll get everything on the same line and they'll be so small. So that is where the sizes comes in. So for instance, here, let's say we say, okay, for this one is MD 4. That's medium. Instead of ordinary column, we say column. Then we want the mid device 4. Then say column with the mid device 4. If I save this and I come here and I refresh, you're still having the same thing. So, but let me try and bring it down. Can you see? So you can see at this point everything is being broken. So it totally and the medium device upward that it will maintain the 4, 4, 4. That means the size 4 columns to everyone. So if I keep expanding it, can you see this is a medium device? Let's screen now, it's a medium device. So even to the largest. Okay. Now we could also add some extra things and say, okay, at mid, maintain 4. But when you come to column small, I want this to be 6. Now let's get this right. I say, okay, at this point, if the screen is small, make this to fill 6, 6, that's 12, then bring this down as 12. So let's check it out and see if we're going to achieve that. We are still at 4, 4 because the screen is not small. We're still at that. Now, can you see now? We are small now. That's why we are having 6, 6, 12. Now, at extra small, because we didn't declare it, it will maintain 12, 12, 12. That means the full row, the full row, the full row. You understand? So I could go and declare that too and say, okay, at extra small, maintain maintain this and that. And I could come here and say, okay, at small, maintain 3, 3. You understand? So we can declare more than one column here. So it just determine what it will do when it encounters such devices. For instance, now, so if this is 6. If I encounter column X, I think that's XM, right? Let me remember that. That's the smallest, that's XX. That's XX, that's extra small. I want everything to I want this to be 6. I want this to be 12. And I want this to be 6. So let's give it a try and see if we'll still get what we want. So if I come in here, this is extra small. I think because of the screen we're using, it's still not at the main extra small. So let me I'm coming. Let me use developer tools. Okay, so now let's go. What device is this? iPhone SE, iPhone XR, iPad mini. Okay, I think we might have made a mistake somewhere here. Let's check. Okay, I think the way we arrange it is not actually okay. So let's just leave it at the XM. I don't know why it's supposed to work, but I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out, surely. Okay, so if I get back to my screen and I decide to make it smaller, if I use this, can you see this is working? Okay, so that's just that about grid. So that's just majorly all from grid. So I believe by now you understand you can make use of your grid anytime you want to do anything. So somebody will be like, what's the importance of grid? You know, like I showed you that time during when we were creating our previous website, we're able to make our services so we can use grid instead of having to style everything. You can see how fast it is, how perfect it makes the work looks like instead of having to write a whole lot of CSS. Now, let me add one more thing to it. Sometimes we might want to override some of these CSS attributes that's been given to us in Bootstrap. Yes, you can overwrite it, but we'll get there. Not your time. We'll get there. So we're going to learn another attribute of another class in Bootstrap. So for now, let's call it today. Then we'll see again. We'll learn another one. Thank you very much. See you next class.